Our next guests are here with the film My Dead Friend Zoe, a dark comedy about a complicated friendship, a divided family, and the complex ways in which we process grief. Please welcome Sonequa Martin Green, Natalie Morales, Utkarsh Ampugar, Gloria Rubin, and director Kyle Hausman-Stokes to the South by Southwest studio. How we doing?
Good. Doing good.
How you doing?
I am fantastic. I'm here with you. We're all looking good. Like, I wore my special chain for this
You look great.
Exactly
specific
right.
day.
Yes.
See, I looked at it, I said, yes.
You wore your
Yes.
special beard too.
My special beard.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love when people compliment the beard. And it's like
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
So I saw this movie, and I was already talking about this a little bit with you on the way in. Like, I texted Natalie, like, hey, I'm watching your movie, and it's a lot of fun. I said, you're kind of mean, though, in the film. You know? It's like,
I try. Yeah.
you succeeded. You
Yeah,
know?
okay, good.
But what I found like really great about this film is that like obviously it's a dark comedy and there's like an interesting balance when it comes to these dark comedies because you got to balance like heavy subject matter while also making your audience laugh. So Kyle, I want you to like talk to me about kind of like bringing that to life and like walking that tightrope when making this film.
It was just really important to me. I think a lot of people have a certain idea about us veterans that we're very serious, very stoic. Maybe we're just, you know, racked by these problems we have from our service, and like it couldn't be further from the truth. We love to laugh, and like humor, specifically dark humor, is like how we cope and how we get through these times. So I think it's true what they say is like you make the movie that you want to see. So I wanted to tell the story. It is incredibly personal, and there's some heavy stuff in there, but I just want it to be watchable and enjoyable, and the people that it's inspired by and dedicated to, like, we used to laugh, and like they would want to laugh, you know. So yeah, it was just important to me to really balance those two.
Yeah, I hear what you say about it like being very personal. It's like I understand it. This is kind of based off of like your time in the service and two friends of yours who were males in like the real life, but you've casted Natalie and Sonequa in these roles, two women playing those like characters. Like, can you two talk about kind of like, I don't want to say gender bent, but just kind of like bringing like a version of those characters to life, and how did that kind of chemistry work out between you two?
What a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it is different. I think we had a few conversations about just the differences between being a woman in service and being a man in service, which I've never been in service, but just by being a woman in the world, I know that there are. And we had a few conversations about that. I think it was really smart of Kyle to do a very personal story from a bit of a removed lens, because he could be more objective about it. I think the battle buddy has always been depicted between two men, and I've really not seen that with women. So it was really cool to be able to do that with Sonequa, who's literally the best.
So is Natalie.
Yeah.
I agree, and I also commend Kyle. In general, you know, we all are honored to stand with him, and I thought that it was quite fascinating, actually, and courageous of you to tell his story and to tell his story in service, and to separate himself and have his story told by a Black woman.
Yeah, it's not often that a white man's like, you know what, I'd rather tell my story through two women of color.
Yes, a Black woman and a Spanish one. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
It is great, yeah.
Yeah, we marveled at that.
Yeah.
We marveled at that, and we, you know, hand clap to him, respect to him for that. And I think that it did also allowed for some interesting moments of creativity because of that too.
Yeah.
And you know, he was very, very open and allowed us to collaborate, and so it ended up being such a lovely synergy.
Yeah, and I like the theme of like collaboration, synergy. Like it really feels like you guys all together had great chemistry together when it came to your interactions, and that's what I liked about the film the most. Gloria, I want to put this question on to you. You play the mother in this film who's going through like a lot, right? And it's just I'd want to talk about, you know, what places did you go as an actor, kind of like being someone who has to watch someone that they love kind of like go through mental health struggles and things of that sort. Did you tap into anything real?
Yes, very much so. A lot of the themes, whether tangible or emotional or psychological in the movie, as soon as I read the script, really parallel my life. Situations that are going on now, and certainly ones from the past. And so that immediate emotional connection for me was, and then of course speaking with Kyle, definitely was, you know, it was a big, easy yes for me. And as Sonequa said, as the lady said, that about the gender, you know, switching it from male to female, and the different race, etc. It's one of the things that I love the most about this movie is the themes are universal. So, and yet the story is so extremely beautifully intimate and personal. And it's so powerful in those regards, and funny, and just really smart and pure. Like, so I've watched the movie a number of times, and every scene is pure. There's nothing extra on it. You know, it's like everything, like all the fat is trimmed off. You know, like how I like my steak. So, because we're in Texas, you know, I got to mention steak. But you know, again, the themes are so universal, and I'm sure all of us can say that in one way or another we connected to. To the certain stories.
That's incredible. Now, again, it's a dark comedy, and Utkarsh, like when I first got introduced to you, like as an actor, funniest guy, like on screen most of the time, right? Like but you're making a name for yourself now in drama, and I'm seeing so many different sides to you. Like I didn't even know you did music up until recently, so I'm just like so talented, right?
Thanks.
By the way, I sing Magic by Bob because of you, not because of Bob. It's because of you and Pitch Perfect.
It's amazing.
I try to channel my Utkarsh whenever I'm like, during karaoke
I appreciate
night,
that.
so no worries.
Thanks, man.
But can you talk about like the ways in which like was that a conscious effort to kind of like have people see you as like a multifaceted actor and not just comedy, or was it just kind of just like, this is who I am, I'm that dude?
I mean, I think we just all want to work with the right people, and the universe sort of sets us up for these opportunities. This was a really organic experience. Kyle reached out, the timing was right. Everyone in the production is either has served or their family has served. That's something that really spoke to me. I'm a huge fan of everybody sitting here. Ed and Morgan, who aren't with us today. I mean, because, because they're not present.
Yeah, they're just, as in London.
They're happy, healthy, and terrific. They're really good.
There's people asking you like, are you proud of me, dude? Are you watch me?
But it was, there's no box. I've got very finite amount of time on this earth, and I have a lot of things that I love doing and want to do, and there's so many special people to share this kind of artistic experience with, so that's always just been my goal. So whether it's like behind a mic or on a film set or writing a comic book or whatever it is, like I'm just very blessed and lucky to be able to be in the company of a lot of amazing people over and over again. So yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. There's no box, people.
No.
Yes.
I was supposed to be a basketball player from Compton. Look at me now. We're talking about movies on the set. I love it. It's great. So what I'm looking at is, okay, so this movie also stars like Hollywood icons like Morgan Freeman, Ed Harris. Like, can you talk about like working with those two like legends in the game?
Morgan
right
Freeman from Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
It was intimidating for me. They are giants, and like, you see Morgan Freeman and you're like, that's God.
Yeah.
That man saved the penguins.
It's just, we all kind of relate to him as that, so it's really hard to just be like, that's a human being, or that's the character in this movie, because he's just like kind of larger than life. And Ed Harris is just, I don't know, I mean, we've grown up with these people. Not to age them, but we have, and they were both so lovely to work with, and so respectful, and so invested, and it was a really great experience for me. Yeah, I think for all of us.
Same, it really was. I mean, it was hard. I remember the day we shot, and Morgan, I couldn't. I was supposed to be giving him some attitude, and I was like, it's Morgan.
Yeah, same
Morgan Freeman. And he was like, it's not Morgan Freeman right now, And there definitely was that. You would think that you would be, so professional about it. And then you get in the moment with them, and you look, you look in Ed's eyes.
He also Morgan Freeman has eyes that you're like, that's the
I know.
universe.
And Ed,
I can't look at him for too long.
That's exactly right. And Ed is the same way. His eyes are like the ocean. And I literally said those words to him, but they both took such care. And like you said, we're so engaged and kind and giving and even nurturing.
But that also speaks to Soneqa's openness also as our lead. The chemistry that her and Ed have in the film is just amazing to watch. How at the front of their faces each of you are, right? You're so giving and so willing to go there with one another. There's so much presence there. So
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, I think it's a
Amazing
testament
work.
to you as an actor that you're able to give Morgan Freeman attitude. Me, I would melt. I would fold. I would fold.
We had that pep
I
talk. We had
almost
that pep
did.
talk. That's
He
not.
had to give me a pep talk. He had to
Yeah,
straight up
I had to
command
kind of
me.
yell at him, and that was interesting.
But now you can cross that off your bucket list
Yeah,
and tell
yeah,
people
yeah,
that whenever
yeah,
you
yeah.
hang out with them.
Exactly.
It was great.
You know, but for me with him, it was that was Airman Freeman. I mean, he was an airman. He's a veteran, and that's really how we connected initially. And yes, he's a legend, as we said. But for a lot of us, it was like what was so interesting about him, and I have to give it up to Paul Scanlon, one of the producers of the project, that really pushed to try to say we need to stick with it. Is he's a veteran. He's a veteran. He wants to tell the same story. And Ed also has a personal connection to a Vietnam veteran in his life. So everybody came to the field to do the work, but everybody had like a story, and they wanted to like be a part of this this mission, this like impact that
That's
we're
great.
doing. Yeah.
That's incredible. All right, we about time to wrap this thing up because we're running out of time. Even though I could talk about this all day and talk about looking into the eyes of God, you know. But before we get out of here, and Ukarsh, you can say no if you want to, but whenever my homies tell me they could rap, and I'm not saying we're homies right now.
Yeah.
I would like to be.
Snap.
Yeah.
I would love to hear like a quick little freestyle. If I give you a beat, could you freestyle about what it's like to be at South by right now?
God.
let me hear your beat.
Okay. Now let's push the pressure right back on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Dang, Compton Boy can't come up with a beat on the spot.
Oh man.
No.
Nope. No, that's a hard no.
Hey,
See,
no shade.
I put you on the no. It's all right.
Hard no.
He needs a good beat, and I'm not a musician. I said musical
This is
blind
for
spot.
all the vets out there,
Yeah.
baby.
That's exactly right. All the best.
Excellent.
The beat
then.
wasn't
Well,
right.
That was
I
respectful.
appreciate you, Juju.
Respectful. That's why I was like, he told me to make a beat. This is not gonna go right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to tell. But thank you so much for being on, guys. This was
Thank
incredible.
you.
Like,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
And you on the screen, watch my dead friend Zoe, please.
Yeah.
It's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, do that.
Thank you all for stopping by the studio today. I'm your host, Juju Green. Thank you so much for watching. And you can find all of South by Southwest Studios on the interviews on our YouTube channel at youtube.com /, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
SXSW.
Hey.